Hayley Williams is lashing out at some people she referred to as incels that were critical of Paramore's decision to postpone a series of shows, with some of them alluding to other musicians who might have been injured on stage that have played through those injuries, maybe like Dave Grohl, who of course broke his leg and carried on with the show. There's only one problem with that as it pertains to Hayley Williams, which she has now revealed. She wasn't dealing with an injury at all that she could play through. In fact, she was dealing with something much more severe, which was a lung infection. And if you're a singer, it really doesn't get much more serious than that. So I can imagine the frustration that she was feeling, taking so much pushback from people, feeling miserable dealing with that lung infection. And although Hayley Williams, without question, is very successful, very famous, has probably done well financially throughout her career, it's still a grind when you're out there on the road, spending time away from your loved ones, traveling, etc. Your immune system can have issues like you're hearing with Hayley Williams. It's just a terrible idea to perform and sing as a vocalist while you're dealing with a lung infection, and maybe it could potentially even cause some damage to your vocal abilities. So with all of that in mind, Hayley Williams absolutely went off on people criticizing them. And by the way, this is a very short postponement. I think they're actually going to make up these shows next week. Here's what Hayley had to say to the incels that were bashing her in the comments for the decision to postpone their shows. Hayley responded to one fan who wrote, "Metallica manage, Iron Maiden manage, all of which are much older than you, love." She responded saying, "Neither James nor Bruce are going to suck your dick for this, love." This user wrote, "Hayley Williams gets sick and cancels multiple gigs and bitches about how hard it is at 34. Dave fucking Grohl falls off stage, breaks his leg, and returns to finish a set in a wheelchair at 50 odd years of age. She's a whiny hypocrite." She responded saying, "I have a lung infection, you soft shit. Not a broken limb. One you can sing with for 2 hours, another you can't. But worry not. The shows weren't canceled, merely postponed a week. Maybe you should come out to one of them, like Dave did." She then shared a longer statement writing, "Internet bros have been pressed by my proximity to rock music and all its subgenres since 2005. The only thing that's changed is the platform from which they spew their ignorance. Don't think for a second your favorite bands, metal or punk or otherwise, endorse your weird incel-ass lifestyle. So many of these bands have stood side stage at our shows and treat us with respect. Why? Because they aren't threatened by a strong woman from a great band in a completely different genre of music." And sadly, Hayley is not wrong about that. She has taken a lot of crap from people over the years, which she doesn't deserve. And this is unfair criticism because when you're dealing with that lung infection, number one, you're going to feel terrible. Number two, how do you sing when you have a lung infection? It doesn't even seem possible to me. And the postponement is such a short period of time. It's just to the following week. Now, as for Hayley talking about rock music and being in a different genre, I actually selfishly, as a fan of Paramore, wish they would go kind of back to that earlier hard rock sound. It sounds like they got a lot of crap during that era for the band, which is actually sad to hear. I've listened to their newer stuff. It's just not necessarily for me, but I do get the appeal of it. But they are an amazing live band. That's a group I would go see live anytime for sure. Let me know what you all think in the comments. That's your latest update from Rockfeed. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on for the latest news and updates.